What is up, YouTube? We are back at it again. I am down to White Claws because that is all I have left. It's kind of embarrassing, but whatever. It's 2022. I can do what I want. And by that, I mean I am completely out of beer. I drank more than I thought I did this week. But Ironhead is back on the lift in the garage. Plug wires are currently on that stupid Evo chopper. Nobody cares about Evos, do they? I mean, that's a lie. My analytics tell me that you guys actually like Evo Chopper projects that are thrown together and done completely wrong. But thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to say that now only because I'm trying to hit that 500 mark before New Year's. Back to real bikes. Ironhead's 4-speed. Brand new, freshly rebuilt. This right here is the bung. There's two bosses here. One down below, one up top. These two are for the bracket that adjusts your chain tension on the primary. This one was absolutely shattered. A little bit of backstory on this bike since I haven't really given this a full once over yet. It is titled as a 69 Ironhead. Anybody that's into these or knows anything about older Ironheads, this is not a 69. 69 would have had the dry clutch side with the, what is it, 3-piece, I believe, on the push rod adjustment coming through. This is a 71 to 73-ish motor, as far as I'm aware. It's been restamped. Total transparency. Even when I go to sell this, I will sell it as such. However, the VIN number on the title matches on the boss here, 69 XLCH, yada, 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 yada. It is 900cc cylinders. Everything on the bottom checks out as it should for a stock 970s era motor. There's no numbers here, and the frame is also stamped to match the numbers here, which, awesome. I have a matching number frame, motor, bike. Harley didn't do that. So instead, the title should only be on the motor. There should not be any numbers on the frame on a actual 69. If this was such, it is not. It's been swapped the other, I mean, there's a million different little variances here. But same thing down here on the lower section. Let me come around, actually. It's got the early style round swing arm. Fine, cool, old. Like I said, it is what it is. I got this bike out of a legitimate barn fire. You can see all the soot and all the ash. We polished up some parts of it. Front fender and the Bondo and the paint prep is melted. The reflectors are all melted. You cannot replace the patina that's been put on the fork tubes underneath the seals where the forks are still working. Nice, clean, machined work. Exactly like they should be out of the factory. However, everything else on this bike is completely charred and covered in ash. Exhaust, everything else. Bought this bike out of a barn fire. No controls, no anything on the brakes. It was still kind of assembled. Brought it home, and I will add the video from when I brought this home next after this. Hooked it up to the carburetor. The choke is disconnected. The throttle cable is disconnected. I had no throttle control whatsoever. When you get onto the inside of the cam chest, this is a power arc ignition. This is actually one of the first electronic ignitions that were made. As far as I'm aware, if anybody knows better or is a better understanding of this, please let me know. I hit up one of the indie shops down the road. He was generous enough to gift me with the original wiring diagram for these when they came out originally, which is super cool. But single fire ignition based on the coil. So I got 3 terminals here, so it's a single fire electronic ignition setup. I did put a new chain on it, cheapo little regular chain, nothing fancy, no O-rings, no nothing like that. I did put a bigger sprocket on it because this is all the stuff I've worked on. And before I started trying to do the YouTube thing, I was in and out of this transmission 9 million times trying to get this to work proper. Now it is all good. Counter shaft is brand new. Some of the gears are replaced. Everything on this transmission is brand new, fully gone over, above and beyond. Main shaft turns. It's in gear right now. But everything turns smooth and operates as it should. But backstory, picked this bike up, put it on the trailer, brought it home, ripped it out of this dude's barn that was still still smoldering, if you will. Not exactly still on fire, but you couldn't walk within 10 feet of this building without smelling the embers and the burnt everything that was inside. He had a couple other bikes in there. There was a BSA in there that I felt really bad about, that I kind of thought about buying, but I picked it up. As far as I can tell on this bike, I brought it home. It's kick only, XLCH still. Numbers matching. Numbers not correct, but numbers matching. Forks are there. No front brake. It had a different stock 19 front wheel that was just kind of thrown on with no rotor attached. I did upgrade this one, and I have another option for this. I have a Hallcraft, OG Hallcraft spool, 19 or 20, I don't remember if it's 19 or 21, but OG Hallcraft spool that I was going to put on this. I don't plan on keeping this until I get it done and ride it around, and then I might just keep it perfectly as is. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But as of right now, I got a mini drum on here. I don't know if I'm going to hook up all the brake stuff. I might just let that dangle for a little while and sell it as a brakeless bike. I haven't decided yet. It's got drag pipes on it. It's got the lunchbox oil tank. It's got the battery tray over here. All the foot peg stuff is there still. This is not period correct. This is the style that should be on there. What else? Ignition-wise, everything else, it did come with a key, and it came with a clean Illinois title, which is the most important part. So, along those lines, it does have a 18-inch non-high shoulder, 18-inch chrome rear, running it with the, what is this, 19 front. It's low, it's an Ironhead, it's going to be relatively fast in the grand scheme of old shitty choppers. But no cables, no controls, no anything along those lines. However, oil tank is still hooked up. A couple of the wiring leads are still on here. So I brought this home. I was working on my buddy's Honda at the time, CB350. He bought a brand new battery for his Honda. Well, while I was working on it, I pulled the battery, threw it in here. Again, this is out of a barn fire. Nothing is hooked up, no throttle controls, no switches, no anything. I brought this bike back home, and you'll see it in about a minute and a half if you keep watching, or fast forward ahead and watch the original. But I brought this bike home, 4 or 5 primer kicks, kicked it over. This thing fired up right away. I think it was about 3 kicks to get it fired up and running. It idled good, revved it up without a throttle cable, but rotating the linkage on the carb. Took throttle really well, super healthy, just kicking it over. I've bought enough project bikes that are locked up or seized or whatever else that need full motor rebuilds. This I knew was a good one. I did not know it was going to be that good of a bike. So Power Arc, OG, electronic ignition. It's got a Bendix on here. So Bendix carb, no linkages, no anything else, but hooked up to a fuel bottle with some plug wires, which I still have the OG ones. I was amazed because electronic ignitions and heat do not typically mix very well together. Especially a single fire ignition. With what was burnt on this, you can still see the bottom side of the rim, the brake, like from here up. We did spend a little bit of time scrubbing the oil tank. I wasn't sure if I was going to even do that. Thought about just leaving it completely raw, but it's super annoying, even if this was done turnkey running, if I have to think about, oh, I'm wearing a decent pair of pants today, and now they're covered in soot. So went through, cleaned all that up, got everything kind of dialed on there. As it sits, it was a runner when I bought it. Well, It wasn't a runner when I bought it, but I started up in 3 kicks. I got super excited. I like building bikes that are going to be ready to roll down the road. So then I decided to open up the primary because I knew I had some clutch issues. I opened this up, and this boss was completely spider cracked and shattered. There's still a chunk kind of missing up here. Lots of odds and ends. This lower primary bolt was gone, so I re-welded all this, reshaped all of this, rebuilt the entire trans, got everything kind of dialed on that. It is not a perfect restoration. It is a slap it back together, fix everything that needs to be done, and make it mechanically sound to roll down the road for whoever buys it, or maybe I'll end up keeping it cheap enough where I might, I don't know. Don't quote me on that part, but we'll see. So basically where we are at now, and it's been sitting for quite a while, I welded this up in June, June. Welded this up. All I need to do is drill and tap this, put a helicoil into this bung for the chain adjuster, the primary chain tensioner, and then we should be pretty much ready to rock and roll and get this thing going. I do have a brand new box of parts with throttle cables, grips, controls, everything else I need to finish this bike. I just haven't had the time. I didn't plan on taking on that Evo chopper project. That came up pretty quick because you buy them when they pop up and go from there. But I have all the throttle cables for a Bendix, brake line stuff for this. On an old Ironhead, it is nice. It is just a mechanical linkage, none of which is on the bike right now, but I do have a bin of parts down here. All the primary and the clutch and brake stuff. I don't know where there's a crossover for the brake. So I got all the parts boxed up. Brand new clutches, because those were absolutely shot when I opened up that primary. The exhaust, the gas tank, and the seats are all sitting up on the shelf over here still. They've been here all summer, buried underneath the carburetor bin, and now it turned into a carburetor storage area. But I got all the brake arms, all of the controls, everything I need to get this bike back together. It will cost me $0 from this point on. Spent a couple $100 getting everything for this. So that is where we're going to start today. I don't plan on putting the whole primary back together. I pulled the trans already. As you can see, everything on the inside of the primary is super clean. I just finished pulling the trans, put all this back on. Forgot to hit play because I have no time to plan out these videos anymore. If I remember, I will press record on the phone, record what I'm doing, go from there. Trans has been pulled, re-cleaned. I already did everything, shimmed everything, re-set up everything on the trans where I'm super, super comfortable with it. Now, all I have left is drill and tap hole, put a helicoil in there, re-thread in the primary tensioner, put the clutch stuff back on, put the primary back on, and then we can get back into starting this thing up. So ideally, if I can get that done tonight, I will. Probably won't. It's already kind of late. We've been slammed at the shop, so I've been working double time lately, trying to get everything set up. Just wanted to make one quick video update for you guys. I know I've been talking about this bike for quite a while. That's the backstory on it. Picked it up out of barn fire, came to life. I've called it the Phoenix if you're interested on Instagram. I did set up a Instagram page for this channel, Wrenching Wrecked, on Instagram. This bike is hashtag or at the, I don't remember how these things work. I'm terrible with the internet for as young as I am. I don't understand it. But there is an Instagram page, there's a Facebook page-ish. They both suck. But if you support the channel and want other updates, I will be a little bit more on top of trying to update the Instagram pages and whatnot. Again, that'll probably be it for this video. Tomorrow I plan on trying to, I might start on this tonight, but it's not going to make it in the cut for this video. I will go through and do a video of drilling and tapping this. There's a good chance these welds might break. I'm not a professional welder by any means. Globbered some stuff in there. Could work, could not. Don't know yet. We'll find out later tonight or tomorrow, or you'll find out in the next video. But this is going to be the main focus for the next couple days. So if you've been watching the channel at any of the older Shovelhead and Sportster and other motorcycle stuff, it's winter. We're getting back into this because my garage is heated. Cars don't fit in the garage because we have too many bikes. So we will be back on the Harley stuff. We've got a bunch of other things in the works too coming your way. So like, comment, subscribe. Like I said, I'm trying to hit that 500 mark. Help me out. Gives me motivation. 500 by New Year's, I will be thrilled. And hopefully we'll be able to keep making stupid decisions and buying all the crappy bikes that pop up on the internet. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys later.